Most of the time we judge what we do based on things like efficiency, time spent, and the return on our investment. We think things like, if I spend this much time doing X, I usually get this much in return. But then we don't normally stop that. That thinking often continues in our relationships. And we think things like, and don't ask me if I've ever heard this or anything, but we ask things like, if I do these certain things with my spouse, his or her irritation will go down this much. Or if I spend this much time reading my Bible, I know that I'll grow this much spiritually. But loving God, His world, and your neighbor can't be weighed in economic and efficiency terms. Sometimes you may give yourselves to someone and you don't see immediate benefits that come. Maybe you go on a date with your spouse and you think, they're not any more kind to me now than they were before. Well, does that mean that the date was wasted? If you take a meal to someone and they don't respond by soon inviting you over to their house, was that wasted? Sometimes helping a neighbor takes way more time than you expect. And then sometimes the prayers that you offer don't bring the desires that you prayed for. So is that prayer wasted? A good life is not based on practicality and efficiency. Those are good in their place, but they must only be measures, not masters. We must be willing to do the things God calls good for its own sake. This is not a call to embrace laziness, but loveliness. When the Apostle Paul exhorted the church at Philippi to not be anxious in Philippians 4:6, he said instead that they should pray, offer thanksgiving, and then, in verse 8, they should actively meditate on things that are true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, and virtuous. Materialism manifests itself not only when we seek for material wealth above everything else, but it also manifests itself when we measure everything that we do according to temporal benefits. There are abundant blessings to following God, but we only can enjoy a fraction of those blessings now in this life. The greater glory comes when we've done all things unto God, whether or not we see the benefits here and now. Because, as we're told in Revelation 14:13, blessed are those who die in the Lord from henceforth forevermore, for they rest from their labors, and their works shall follow them. Everything you do unto the Lord here, He remembers. So do not be weary in well-doing. Give yourself to what is good, regardless of how soon you may see the benefits, and leave the results to your Almighty Father.